WD18 here with Danny. Mate, it's been a long season, lots of ups and downs. It started very promising.
Yeah, I mean, I've said previously I was really excited with this Watford team right at the start of the season. You know, winning games, beating Arsenal, beating Southampton, Bournemouth really convincingly, and then you know it all just fell apart. And we all know the main reason why it fell apart. We won't go into detail, but
a quick word on Marco Silva, which
was,
is suitable for children.
It was yeah. I mean, the words I can use is probably not suitable, but it's just
it's annoying when a head gets turned that early and so convincingly.
Like other guys have said, like if he'd have stayed with Watford, put his heart into Watford, stay with the season, and then Everton maybe come sniff around. Now it'd have gone with our best wishes, but because he wanted out after 10 games, 40 was a dog's bollocks after 10 games.
Yeah.
That's just. I mean, it's like a normal job. If you're working in a normal company, like for me, for instance, if I went and spoke to another company on Matt, said, I want to work for you, I'd get the sack. So it should be the same. Like, it's going to have a massive effect on the young company. Look, why is he working here when he don't want to be here?
Do you think start the season during the good point under him, the players, the way it worked really well, even the formation maybe, but everything seemed to click, especially with Richarlison in the corner.
No, like Richarlison, big reason why he's gone off ball was because he just seemed to play well under Silva. You know, they're both sort of Portuguese, really, Brazilian Portuguese. But it just all the players seemed to work for each other. They all seemed to work for the manager. But then obviously when his head got turned, they all just decided, look, if you're not gonna want to stay at Watford, why should we bother playing for you if you're not want to be here?
So then move on. Javi Gracia gets appointed. We have that mid-season slump that causes the appointment. What did you think bringing him in? Because honestly, I didn't really know anything about him, but it seemed like the Pozzos were going to do a little bit of their magic again.
Do you know what? It showed how much Silva had an effect on the team for the Pozzo to sack him halfway through, because they're not known to sack managers.
They do end of season.
Yeah, I mean, you take Mazzari last season, how bad he was. They didn't sack him until the end of the season. It just shows, you know, I can sit and say now we'd have got relegated in Silva. If he'd have stayed in the season, we'd have been relegated 100,000,000%. So it showed balls. You know, I didn't know awful lot about Gracia. It proves they had him lined up way before they appointed him, because you know he got appointed the same day as.
You've got to praise the Pozzos for that though.
Massively,
they are brilliant owners in that respect.
Yeah, I mean they're not. They get so much, you know, bad stick off all the media, but it's unfair because they don't know how Watford's run. Obviously, they know. Obviously, all they say, they change managers regularly, but Silva is literally the only manager we've actually sacked. And Mazzari, okay, but
that's just leaving at the end of the season.
Exactly. Like obviously, Flores left because he had a break clause. Zola left because he sort of resigned. Oscar Garcia.
Health problems. Billy McKinley was temporary.
So all them, you know, and Sanino was only there for temporary. So all these managers have not been sacked. They've all been sort of, you know, mutual consent. But it's just all these owners and other clubs and all the press. I don't know how Watford's run. The Pozzos have massive respect because they could just say, look, stick with Silva, see how it goes. But they knew full well we were gonna slide down our table very quickly if we'd have kept Silva.
So then we get Gracia in. First home game here at the Vic, Chelsea at home. Everyone's got low expectations. 4-1 to Watford.
It's, you know, it's in my top three of best home game ever at Watford. You know, definitely in the Premiership by a long way. It tops Liverpool, it tops United. It's just the way, because we hadn't won a game in ages. Like I think Boxing Day was the last game we won. I mean, that
dominated.
Even that was our, you know, Boxing Day game was our first win in a long time. So we hadn't won many games. And I mean, to come out, obviously we went 1-0 up, and then it went to 1-1. You thought, oh,
Chelsea are going to get this.
Chelsea are going to get this. I thought, oh, Chelsea are going to get this now. But what character we showed to come back in 2-1, and then 3-1, then 4-1 out, which is brilliant. And then, but Gracia's home record was really good. That's one thing he did do. Obviously away records a bit of a sort of.
What are you putting down to that away record?
Do you know what? I think it's just because. Is
it a mentality thing?
Yeah, mentality thing. I think we haven't looked as threatening away from it. Obviously, the last few away games have been, you know, performance-wise, been decent, but we just haven't had the firepower from maybe. If we had a better striker, maybe if Richarlison had been on form, you know, if we'd have had Delafay, we could all sit here and say all these things, but at the end of the day, it needs to change. Obviously, I'm presuming he's going to stay next season, so it will definitely need to change, because if we have that away record next season, it's going to be a long season.
We're going to be going down with that away record.
I mean, on the summer as well. Like, obviously, I hope he stays. You know, to give him, he deserves it. The owners brought him in to keep us in the league. He's done that, so I hope they reward him now with the summer. Get some decent players in. And if we don't get the right players in. I mean, in terms of not just buying anybody for the sake of it. Get the right players in, you know, centre back, left back, striker, midfielder.
Getting the money from Decore and Richarlison.
Do you know what?
Especially Richarlison.
Yeah, I think Decore, we don't need to sell him. Like, I mean, we don't need to sell anyone, but if, like, previous years we've had to sell players to get money, and we don't need to sell anybody now unless a stupid offer comes in. You know, I said on my fan cam at United, we don't need to sell him, like, unless sort of 45 million comes in, you take it. But
do you think the buzz around him will go down because if he's not going to the World Cup?
I mean, you look at France's squad, their squad is just, you look at players that haven't gone to the World Cup.
Yeah.
He was never going to get into that World Cup unless he had about 10 injuries. So he's a good player, but is he at that sort of, you know,
top 6 level.
Chelsea, Liverpool level yet? I don't know. Personally, not, because he's only really had, you know, he did well last season, you know, under Mazzari half season, but he only really had half a season. This season he's been immense. And he's literally had his first decent season in England. So maybe, you know, I'm hoping he does stay. You know, give him till January. Then maybe if he's still playing well January, then, you know, sell him off. But that might be a problem, because if he's playing well, then that's a massive part of the squad that's gone in January. So maybe, hopefully, he stays another season, and we'll see what happens.
We'll be looking very strong in midfield next season. Obviously, Hughes, Cleverley, Pereira, Decore, Chalobah, and maybe Delafeu.
Our midfield is easily our strongest part of the squad. You know, midfield's got Hughes, Pereira, like you said. Midfield is just, I don't think, you know, maybe one more midfielder, maybe just so we've got that bit more depth in the midfield. But, you know, midfield is definitely the area where we don't necessarily need to strengthen. You know, I've said it, striker, defenders, but midfield is exciting at Watford. You know, mention the players. Yeah. So, you know, we'll just wait.
Finally, we've gone wrong many times this season, especially with losing Leeds. Yeah. What is needed to rectify that in the dressing room or on the pitch for next season? Because it's been a big part of our team this year, losing points.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? Shane said it spot on in his cam. Giraldi needs to get his finger out of his ass and make the fucking signings that we actually need. Because I've said to Shane previously, if we don't get the right signing, get the right personnel in, we're gonna really struggle next season. Because you look at the teams coming up, Wolves are going to be top 10, I think.
Wolves are going to be top 10.
They're going to be top 10. I'm telling you, they've got money to fucking spend like hell. You look at the players they've got. They're signing players that have made 20 caps for Portugal, like Ruben Neves, and do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a strong. Like, this season was in my opinion, this season was shit because Man City run away with it. Yeah. The three teams went down because they were shit. Let's face it. That's the only reason we didn't.
We stayed up because there were teams worse than us. It wasn't even us being good.
Exactly. We stayed up because we had such a good start. But if we don't make the right signings this summer, it's going to be a long season. I just hope that, you know, like I said, the manager stays. To improve, you know, what happened this season, I think injuries hasn't helped, but injuries happen. I mean, maybe since they bought that new guy in, that Andy Scott in from Brentford, injuries haven't been as big of an issue. I was like, well, okay, there were still players out, but we didn't have many players injured since then. So, you know, that's an issue, but injuries happen. But it's just the injuries, like the muscle injuries, that's always a concern, because, you know, players can't help getting like bone injuries because it's just freak, it happens. So, you know,
final summary then. Do
you know what? It's been, obviously, I love coming to watch Watford. You know, Watford's in my blood. I bleed yellow. Loved coming on. You know, love coming on the channel. Love meeting all you guys. It's been brilliant. So yeah, shout out to everyone. Yeah, it's been brilliant. No, do you know what? It's been rollercoaster season, but an enjoyable one at the same time. So we'll have to see what next season brings. Hopefully, cheer on England in the World Cup. See what we do, and then we'll get ready in August, and then we'll see what next season brings. Up the odds, come on.